Shane's freaking out. I actually have a written statement prepared. It's a short one. Don't worry. I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you sometime. And I want to spend some time with you, Shane, just the two of us.
Yeah, just the
We can make it if we
two of
try.
us. Just the
Yes,
two of
just the
us.
two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Shane and Isaac. Welcome to Such Good Shoot. We're skipping the intro video today. We're skipping all that bullshit. We're not doing Chic of the Week. Actually, I'm going to do the Jabroni of the Week because this is because it was, boy, was it a jabroni take. Where is it? It was in Collective. Yeah, there we go. At WrestleMania. Oh no, that was good. The WrestleMania, the spot where he threw the fucking glass of water on his sister Dom,
Yes.
being yeah, just fucking improvised is very good. Man, do I have the jabroni of the week anymore? Man, I really fucked this up, didn't
Yeah. No. I.
I? Oof.
I. I think. I think it's lost.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Oh well. Oh well. Could have been worse. Anyway, Jabroni of the week was some guy who sucked. And right on, we're going to talk about WrestleMania today. There's been a couple of shows where I feel like I've talked about it, Dozer's talked about it, Jovan's talked about it, but Shane and I have not talked about it.
No.
I think we have similar opinions. I think we're probably going to have some clusterfucks tonight. So
Yeah. Yeah. And the chugging beer is off the top. I'll take big drink, but
yeah, we got to be strategic about how we fill these glasses up.
yeah, we got about 18 matches to talk about. So
So, strategy comes into play on this one. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a couple little a little tidbits. You watched Raw. I didn't watch Raw after Mania. Oh shit, the 2X lime and salt. Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty fucking good.
yeah. I went to the Hood Walmart earlier today. And I got a venerable smorgasbord of stuff. I got a vodka Sunny D
Oh shit.
thing.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just something else. Just of course, it's a good thing you're not drinking Bud Light, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Um,
Oh, that was what I was gonna say to you. Is like, what's up with the no Bud Light Lime?
well, I mean, I still have Bush,
I know.
which is under the same,
So is Coors isn't? Oh, Coors has is different, but it's like
Yeah, Coors
they
is
love
not made by Anheuser
no,
Busch.
they're Molson Coors, but they love the gays too now. So
Canadians.
if you like beer, man, you're gonna have to drink some Russian beer. I think they're the ones that hate the gays still. So
No, just Yingling.
oh, Yingling hates gays.
Well, I don't think they made a stance, so that's good enough for Kid Rock.
Well, Dozer loves Yingling too. So Kid Rock.
It's that Pennsylvania shit, man. Like, I mean, Yingling's fine, but I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
Nah. Well, let's talk WrestleMania then. We'll take a nice big sip before we get started. Mm.
Oh, this smells like beer vomit already.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Like just stomach bile and fucking beer. And the response?
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like being at a Mexican restaurant and then they dump lime in the shit beer in order to make it taste better.
There you go. Hey,
I mean,
that's not a bad
yeah.
thing. All right. Well, let's jump into WrestleMania night one. Night one. I wish we could just talk about night one. My description, you weren't there, but as soon as we got done, we jumped on I jumped on shooting shit with I think DDJ and Jovan, and we were talking about night two, and I wrote something down, and I was like, "What can we say about WrestleMania night two that wasn't said about the Hindenburg disaster?" it's it started off slow. There was a couple of high points. I think we saw a Nazi or two, and then there was a fiery crash at the end. Oh my god. Yeah. But night one was a lot of fun. So um I guess we were in LA at the SoFi Center. Uh we had
Big old crowd.
big old crowds, 80,000 or so, 78,000 or so. Probably 70,000, 75,000 in reality. Oh, we had Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. We had guest appearance on commentary from Titus Primetime O'Neil for the men's showcase match. So pretty minimal. I mean, it's kind of nice just having the two-person commentary back. Although who knows what's going to happen with that with Vince back, but the
Yeah,
two man
well,
commentary has been great. Honestly, it's been such a refreshing like exchange, like change. Michael Cole's voice was fried, but it's always fried by the end of Mania.
no,
But yeah,
yeah, he's too busy yelling and hooping and hollering.
okay. The first match was Austin Theory versus John Cena. How long do you think that match was? Just
8 minutes.
11 minutes 20 seconds.
Huh. Yeah. They got a big pop with Cena's entrance right at the start of Mania. The Make-A-Wish kids were on the stage,
Great.
which is which is obviously a very cool moment. I guess that they had all wished to be at WrestleMania period, and then they incorporated being at WrestleMania in with Cena's entrance and
Being in
subsequently,
WrestleMania.
yeah, which is very 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 cool.
I mean, that was what I.
Um,
It's like hard not to be like that. Honestly, like that and Bianca Belair's entrances were
yeah,
two, especially Bianca's. Both of them were really, really sweet, very touching, and just like a, I don't know, it felt good, it felt wholesome, it felt like good, it felt like those kids were having just like an experience that you can't replicate almost
yeah.
anywhere else.
Not too many other people have had. You know what I mean? And we'll get into probably one specific girl later for Bianca's
For
entrance.
sure. Yeah.
But I mean, especially for the Make-A-Wish kids, and the things that they have gone through or are going through currently. To be something, to be able to do something that most fans only dream of, and most fans, would do a whole lot of things to do I don't want to say well deserved, because that implies that they deserve to be going whatever it is that happened or is happening to them. But given the circumstances, those kids absolutely deserve to be on that stage, and be recognized and have something, truly special and
Yeah.
remarkable
Yeah.
happen, for them.
They deserve a bright spot in what is probably a lot of fucking hot garbage, like,
Yeah, 100%.
hospitals are no fun, like being in the hospital is no
No, no, absolutely not.
fun. And to like have a moment where like, yeah, you can completely forget like what you're going through and just experience something that is, just pure wonder in a lot of ways is really
Yeah,
great. And I
kids
gotta
being
give,
kids.
I'm gonna give a half star for that entrance alone with John Cena. Uh,
Wow.
because it was like one of those things where I was like, God damn, this is one of the, like literally one of the best WrestleMania Mania entrances I've ever seen.
Well, and it was especially a really good feel good way to start out the weekend. You
And a
know,
good way to bring Cena in and incorporate those kids, and like
yeah.
because Cena is like, fuck man, love him or hate him, he's the goat. Like especially when it comes to Make a Wish, and like,
Well, and it's not even close.
yeah, and putting his time towards fucking helping kids like that is like, like mad props to him. The match itself was not great.
It was as unremarkable as the entrance was remarkable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. Cena was a half step off. which is to be expected when you haven't wrestled in forever, and you're just hopping in the ring at WrestleMania. You're gonna have eyes on you. You can't. There's not much you can do to hide,
Yeah.
And yeah, Cena is one of the all-time greats, but he was a half step off, just in timing, just in speed, and you could tell. And it hurt the pace of the match. It hurt the match itself. It wasn't a bad match. They told an okay story, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
and
gonna go
y-
175 on it, really, because that extra half star. But
yeah, I mean, ultimately, with the match, it was just Cena playing the hits.
mhm.
Austin Theory overcoming those hits. Austin Theory wins with a low blow and into an A-town down. So, I mean, ultimately, I think go ahead.
That was the right finish, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, no, I mean,
But
I honestly, I think I would have preferred to just see him pin Cena, but they're gonna protect Cena regardless. It is what it is. The match accomplished what it needed to. It was just, I mean, honestly, just
crowd
yeah, I
was
mean, just a little
so.
bit of a letdown, even if the crowd was super into it.
And the crowd, I mean,
Um,
the crowd helped. That helped so much because we even got, like, I think my favorite part of the match is when we got the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chants. Like, it's just that was really cool. I mean, a little nostalgia trip, man.
a little throwback.
Yeah,
I
it
think 175 is maybe a little bit much for the match. That
well,
being said, I'm not taking the entrance into account for the rating.
yeah, yeah.
So a 1.5 is good enough for me.
Okay, well, let's see what our buddy Jovan says. He gave it 125. So
Okay.
we continue our proud tradition on this format of going starting at one number and going a quarter star up or down in either direction. All right, well, Meltzer, he liked it. He gave it a 2.25.
Well,
So
fair
that
enough.
yeah, that should bring us to night or to night two. Yeah, night two. Match number two, which was the match that I think
The
all of us.
hell was that? What did you just have in your hand? Oh, dude, I thought it looked like one of those like water sprayers at the dentist, like when they're cleaning your shit out. Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm about to take a dab after I talk about this.
Oh,
But this was the match that fucking I think all of us thought was going to be the stinker of the night, and ended up being fucking a banger, just a fucking banger match. One of the best like fatal four-way tag matches I think I've ever seen. Honestly, with like like for being something that had no fucking consequences, right?
yeah,
That had no like stipulation. It was just a like a four-way tag match. And goddamn, the Street Profits, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Experience
yeah.
with Valhalla. Which fucking was that? Sarah Logan? Is that a
Sarah
real?
Logan, yes.
Dude? She looks fucking awesome as Valhalla. Like
It's she looks
bad.
great,
She looks badass, dude.
but it's just so hokey. And also like Valhalla is, you
The place
know,
you go when you
you,
die.
you go when you die. It's weird to have a person named Valhalla, but I digress. Isaac, go ahead and take your dab. I'll take over for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about this? Because I'm
Um,
curious to hear your thoughts. I know we enjoyed it, but
yeah. I mean, like Isaac, alluded to. Ultimately, I thought that this was going to be, kind of, a throwaway match, a little match, just a little filler, piss break. A good way to get some deserving people, WrestleMania paychecks. And I think everybody kind of thought that way, and I think that the performers themselves heard it, and they really decided to go and tear the house down. The match was frantic is the best way to describe it. I mean, they were fitting in so many spots. They were trying to get so many people shine. and really they did a great job of it. Whether it was the chaos, the chaos theory, right? Is that's what the rolling German, from
Goddamn
Chad, from Chad Gable to Braun. If it was Otis's
incredible,
ass sweat, if it
dude.
was,
Titus
um,
O'Neil could not shut the fuck up about how sweaty Otis
oh,
was,
dude,
and
and,
it
and
was
Titus was terrible both nights of WrestleMania.
yeah. Well,
Um,
night two they told him to shut the fuck up
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
quick,
Yeah, I
which is
mean Ricochet's springboard shooting star. If it was Angelo Dawkins, absolutely flatlining Strowman.
well, yeah,
Um,
because he was doing the what does
yeah,
he
yeah,
call
he
that?
was doing
The
the
Strowman
shoulder.
thing where he goes,
Yeah,
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 runs around the ring and shoulder
um,
tackles people. Which,
yeah.
to be honest, to fucking take him out the way Dawkins did was fucking impressive.
He flatlined him. And dude, I love that spot, man. I've loved that spot forever because when you get a little dude who gets in there and takes it, he always goes flying. It's always
Hmm.
fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's certain things that just look good. It's like reminds me of Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio and that
yeah,
fucking like where he in the ambulance match or whatever, where he fucking has him on the board and fucking just
yeah.
swings him.
And drops him right on his
Oh my
face, yeah.
god, dude, incredible stuff. Yeah,
Um,
Ray, man, what a legend. But
but,
yeah,
but
this match, man, was so much fun. Shout out, they got the right team won. Everyone got their shit in. Everyone looked really fucking good.
yeah, how
Especially
long was this one?
this one
13
was
minutes?
no, this one was the 8.5 minutes,
Oh,
which
wow.
honestly, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this match. I can't give it a 5, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with this match. There's just nothing on the line. There's nothing at stake. There was no like, but it was so much fun, and
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it fully deserves a 4.
I'm
'Cause
gonna take it.
goddamn, I had fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was having so much fun in this. I was really amazed by how well these four teams work together. And everything that they did. And honestly, I liked enough to give it a 4.25 and not just to continue the trend.
All right, all right. Well, um, Jovan liked it 3.5, so we already broke that
Oh,
rule. But
damn. Wow.
but it's exceptions prove the rule. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, Meltzer, he kind of helped us out. He went okay, okay. You know what? I think I spoke a little too soon. So we went 3.5. Meltzer went 3.75. I went 4, and you went 4.25.
And that's a flush. All right. I'm gonna do a couple big swigs rather than chugging.
Oh man. All right. Wow. Yep.
God damn it.
Gonna get flushed real quick. But yeah, man. Good on the Street Profits. They really deserved this win.
Oh, and real quick, that the finish to the match, it was like that code breaker deal where he held on to him, face down, face on the knees, and then Dawkins or Rose
Yep.
Ford came off and was it like a splash or an elbow drop or something like that?
I think it was like the splash. I think it was like the 5-star
Yeah.
splash
Well,
onto
yeah,
it.
no, he comes off the top rope and create. I said it at the time, and I'm gonna say it now. That should be their new finish. That shit looked awesome.
They look great, dude. What a great tag team finish too.
Yes.
Like legendary shit like the 1D, the fucking 3D, the goddamn the fucking
Dude,
Legion of Doom.
what was
Total elimination.
yeah, no, that's not what I was talking about,
That
but that
but
shit is
yes.
so sweet. What was the New Day's finish called? The like the combination big ending with the
Oh
like this.
fuck, what was that? I don't remember what they called
um
that. That
it's
was
been so
early
long since
Usos.
Big E's been gone.
Oh yeah, sorry, the New Day one. Remember the early Usos like finishers, man? The early Usos like NXT when they first hit the roster would do so much crazy shit. They had like a I
The first
fucking
Usos finisher I can remember is just the double splash.
I feel like they had a variation on that where it was
I gotta
like
blow
a
my nose. Keep talking.
yeah, throw up into fucking something. Anyway, they had some fucking crazy shit early on. either way, really fun. That was really fun match. I had a really good time with that one. And we'll roll right along into a match that a lot of people thought would be the one that would steal the show. Honestly, I think a lot of people thought Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul was going to be the match that was the one that came from nowhere and surprised everyone. And right off the bat, they Logan Paul came out with a goddamn Prime bottle, guy dressed in a Prime
Well,
bottle suit,
he repels, right? He does the old Shawn Michaels
which was
WrestleMania,
cool. Which
which
was
which I
cool.
was which I was shocked about. I never thought you would ever see anybody repel to the ring ever again in the
No,
WWE
I was
for
pretty.
obvious reasons. And if you don't know those reasons and you're watching this show, I need you to think for
Yeah, yeah. No,
a
that was
second.
that was pretty wild. Seth Rollins came in dressed like like Double J in pink,
Yeah, he had
which
the, he had
was
the
wild.
conductors conducting the crowd to sing, which was awesome.
Which was hilarious, dude. Hilarious that they like got a guy. I don't know if he was a real conductor or not, but I hope he was. I hope they paid a real conductor to come and do that because holy shit, what a
The, the,
silly
the
thing to do.
crowd,
They were
let me tell
so
you,
into it.
the crowd, like, I don't think it's even arguable at this point to put Seth top 10 all the time for WWE WWF. I don't even think it's arguable with how over he is now, with how over he has been for so long, and how much shit he has done for that company. Whether it be, winning the belt at WrestleMania, those all those years ago, to this Logan Paul feud, to the
Well,
Miz
even
feud, to just
rewind
everything.
the
And
goddamn
obviously
Shield.
Shield. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
no.
Shield. But even what was it? Tyler Black, is that what he called himself
Yeah.
in NXT and shit? Like,
Well, that was him on the Indies too.
yeah, so, like, his indie work was good, and, like, you watch the evolution of him, and this is a guy who every single year, right,
Yeah, something new going
is
on.
new, is
Yeah.
refreshed. He's there's not many wrestlers who are able to evolve themselves and their characters so fluidly and naturally the way he does. Like even Jericho, like
Yeah.
he just sort of changes, right? Whereas
Yeah.
Rollins like has this way of like evolving his shit where all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, when did this become his gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not even like that. It's just him, right? Like it's just him being
and
crazy fucking Seth Rollins, and he's always been so good.
and
He was
and,
always the
and the
best wrestler in the Shield.
and the craziest shit is like especially with Seth Rollins now, I have never heard a crowd sing a song to a wrestler so loudly. And that's taking into account Shinsuke and NXT when they used to run the arena shows. That's taking into account Shinsuke on the main roster before they fucked him.
Or even
I mean,
Jericho in the bigger AEW shows.
well, yeah, I mean, the Judas and all of that. I mean, the crowd and on Raw when they cut a segment and then they were still singing after he was gone for no reason. But anyways, back
Wild,
to
dude.
it's
Just
so
fucking
stupid.
wild. Getting told
But
in the ring that where you just go to the back, dude. Never mind.
how are you gonna do that to Seth? But anyways, yeah,
In
back to
front
Logan.
of that crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
Logan Paul
Logan and
versus
Seth,
yeah.
the match
He
was
comes out with the
good.
prime bottle.
The match was good, but the second that Prime dude in the Prime bottle came out, I don't know. I didn't know who KSI was. So my first instinct was like, holy shit, that's Jake, right?
Yeah,
I immediately, like it would have been one thing had the bottle disappeared, right?
yeah,
But the bottle stayed around ringside and was very excited the whole match.
yes, it was
And it
very
was
animated.
so distracting and so
No,
obvious a plant.
it didn't
And
bother me. I mean, it is what it is,
yeah,
especially relative to something we'll see later on in this night. Um, yeah, I really like this match.
yeah, it
I
wasn't
like this.
bad. It just
I
what didn't live up to expectations. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I mean, again, unfortunately, we as wrestling fans do what we did, and decided that it was going to be match of the weekend, and then it didn't live up to that. I like the story they told with Seth Rollins stomping, um, you know, Logan's hand on the stairs early in the match. I
Yes.
liked, I liked the story of Seth constantly, avoiding the knockout shots that it hit him. Logan comes back with his normal, extremely, athletic, uh, um, you know, uh, repertoire of moves. He hits a GTS at one point. And Logan, we really need to give him credit for selling, because Logan understands how to sell. Everything that he did in that match, he sold for, whether it was the hand or whether it was him selling his own offense, and taking the time in between moves, whatever. Later in the match, you have Logan about to frog splash Seth through the table. Seth pulls an okey doke after KSI reveals himself as the prime bottle. Logan frog splashes KSI through the table, which has to be a cool moment for those guys, because
Sure.
KSI and Logan are both big wrestling fans. That much is obvious. So be able to frog splash your bro through a table at WrestleMania is incredible.
No, that's
Um,
really cool for that. I mean, it just
yeah,
was. It was not the WrestleMania moment I think they thought it was going to be.
no, I mean, but
But
it was.
it was what it was. I don't know. I always like the brand placement shit, like the goddamn Cinemoji fucking toast crunch shit.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't get mad about it yet.
You know what I mean? It's just like it felt sort of the same. At least the fucking the Cinemoji
Well,
toast crunch didn't get involved in the match.
And and let's be honest here. Logan is like, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you and say that Logan is gaining nothing from being in the WWE, but the WWE is gaining a lot by having Logan there.
Of
Just
course.
as far as publicity and everything. So I don't mind them having him, market his own shit, which, by the way, I had a bottle before we got on Prime, is extremely
There's no
delicious.
they don't have ones with sugar in it though, right? It's all sugar
No, no,
free.
none of it has sugar, dude.
It's
Like,
so lame.
oh, dude, no, it's good, man. It tastes like like the old school like popsicles.
No,
Like
see,
it just tastes
I
like
can't do the fucking I can't do like the fake sugars, man. Whether it's
it's got
fucking
2 grams of sugar. It's good for you.
no, I don't want good for me. Like, what do they have as a fake sugar in there? What is it? What is it?
I don't look
Sucr
because
like the
it just
aspartame? Is
tastes
it
good. It just tastes good.
see, my thing is
It
like
tastes like less shitty
I'll
Gatorade.
I'll drink like man, I'll get like a monster, right? And I'll be like, oh, this tastes all right. And I'll get like 3 sips in, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what does that taste? And I can always get it just fucking sticks around for me. And I don't like it. The fake
Well,
sugar
you
taste,
should
it's
just
not
give
good.
Prime a shot. Maybe you'd like it. Just give it a just give it.
I already know what the issue is, bro. I already know
But
what my
but you've never
problem
but you've
is.
never tried it, so you don't
I've
know.
never
Maybe.
once had a sugar-free, like, with
Well,
any
it's
of
not
fake
sugar free.
sugars,
It has 2 grams of sugar. It just doesn't
but
have much.
do they but they have well, we'll look it up, we'll find out. If you know about Prime, send us the fucking ingredients list, let me know how much
I
fake
can just go look after we're done. I have
yeah,
more.
you tell me, I wanna know,
Um,
because I'm not touching it if they have any fake sugars, because this shit's gross. It's
God, you're
gross,
such a pussy.
no,
Anyways,
you are with cheese, dick.
but anyways, this was a good enough match. Seth ends up winning, which I think ultimately is the
Yeah,
correct
which was
decision.
great,
You get
great.
Seth a nice WrestleMania moment. It wasn't a barn burner. However, with the entrances, with the prime bottle, with everything that happened, I do think it was a WrestleMania match. And I liked it enough to give it 3.5.
Huh, I'm leaning closer to 3 and a quarter. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna go for 3, but I think I mean, again, it wasn't like it was there was anything wrong with it, but had it not had some bullshit, had the run-in been done a little differently, I probably would have liked it more, but, ultimately, yeah, 3 from Jovan, and let's see what Meltzer gives it. Seth Rollins versus Logan. Whoa! All right, he gave it a 4.5. Holy shit! All right,
No, Meltzer
good,
loves Meltzer was mixing the prime with the vodka, dude. By this point, the
bro.
spirits were flowing. He was having a good time.
I think, I think, I think you might be right. Oh, I think you might be right, dude. Anyway, uh, he's really, he seems to enjoy the rest of the show. Um, Let me see. We have, well, maybe not so much because the next match, I actually expected to be a little better, but again, okay. Well, this is Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch going against Damage Control with Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. 14:40 with this match. The last match, by the way, was 16 minutes. This one was 14 minutes 40 seconds, and it was a 6-woman tag match. Um, I hate to say this because I really do love Lita, but Lita was the obvious weak link in this match and spent way too much time in the ring.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It was,
100%. I
and
mean,
I love her, but Jesus Christ.
yeah, you have a lot of this match that is spent with Becky getting beat down, which just from a match standpoint, I don't really understand.
Mm-mm.
Um, but regardless, all 6 women worked hard in this. Trish looked pretty good, man. I mean, and obviously she had a very, very limited amount of things that she actually did, but most of the things she did looked like Trish.
Except for that
You know,
big thing at the end where it was like she missed the head. I mean, there was like a little tiny mistakes because again,
yeah,
none of these people have wrestled. These two
yeah,
women haven't wrestled in how long? It's hard,
yeah. Well,
and
I lead and Trish probably since Evolution, right? A couple years ago.
yeah.
Actually,
So
goddamn, that was like 2018.
yeah,
Um,
so
but
it's been a
yeah,
hot fucking minute. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, you had Damage Control dominate a lot of the match, with standard, dividing the ring heel tactics. Um, yeah, you had Trish and Becky doing their best to play the hits. You had Trish and Lita rather. You had Lita hitting a really, really, really ugly looking. It was supposed to be Whisper in the Wind, but then it wasn't, and then it was like a flying forearm thing. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say without really shitting on it.
No,
It
and it
was a
was what it
WrestleMania.
was.
Yeah, it was a WrestleMania match because of Trish and Lita. For
Like God,
better and for worse.
yeah. I mean, I hate to say it in this context, but if it reminded me of the one of the last big Trish Stratus WrestleMania matches, and not this isn't any shade on Trish Stratus at all, but this is like the first thing that came to mind in comparison, which is the fucking one with John Morrison and Snooki, the one
Oh
that got
yeah,
John Morrison in trouble, and like again, like it sort of fell flat of what it could have been. It was cool seeing them in the ring, but it didn't need to be done that way. Like you could have I mean, if you're gonna have Becky get her ass kicked, have her get her ass kicked in the ring and in the corner and not get to the other corner and have some hot tags and then get back in there. Like, why are you overexposing Lita like that? But it is what it
yeah,
is. I don't remember what I think I rated it on fucking Shoot and Shit, and I think I went like 1.5 because it really wasn't very good, and it's sad to
yeah.
say,
I mean,
but
it really wasn't. It
it
really
was
wasn't
it was the
horrible.
weakest match of the night, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but it really wasn't horrible though. I mean, there was
No,
nothing like outstandingly bad, and
I guess it
nobody
wasn't the
got hurt.
weakest because there's still one more, but
Yeah. I don't know. I think 1.5 may be a little low, especially for the effort that all the ladies put in. Um, I think a 2 is a
okay.
fine rating for it.
All right. You got a 2. Jovan, what do you got? Jovan says, motherfucker, I swear I'm not doing this on purpose, Shade. I'm really not here.
175, huh? Nice. That means Meltzer gave it a 2.25. Fuck.
No, 275 for
Oh
Meltzer.
wow, yeah, dude, he's definitely got the drinks
That's what I'm
flowing, man.
saying, dude. Yeah, those were. I looked ahead. I was
Meltzer's
like, yeah, I think
having
he's having a good time. I
a
think he's
great
having a
time, and
good
I'm happy
time.
for him.
Good, yeah, good for him, dude. He looks like his life is just awful. I don't think there's anybody in the world. Can you think of a Well, you can think of a couple just awful troll creatures that live in the dark that fucking would trade their lives for Dave Meltzer's. But I don't know any reasonable person who's ever seen pussy before in real life who would
Oh,
ever
here
be
we
like, you
go.
know what? Dave Meltzer, I want to be that guy. No, no. If you've seen a vagina before that wasn't like during your birth, you're definitely not fucking trying to be Dave Meltzer. But anyway, glad he had a fun time. He deserves it. Hopefully, he got some sunshine. Um, this brings us to, oh my god, just some of the best entrances of the whole weekend that aren't just about tearing
Children.
at your heartstrings. Yeah, we got the Mysterios. We got Ray versus Dom, and Dom with the probably just the best themed WrestleMania entrance of all time
Yeah,
because it
man, he
was
went to
just so.
Auschwitz and then got out.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, the shot of Auschwitz. It was. Whew. But goddamn, dude, like the video package, yeah. But the whole just entrance with the paddy wagon and him coming
The
out in
ambulance.
cuffs
Him,
with
him, him coming out in the in the Rey Mysterio, what, like 1997? It was 1997 Halloween Havoc mask, right? The purple one.
which was fucking cool. Like I don't know, like Dom is getting better and better and better at being a fucking heel, and like it's great to see. Love to see it. I mean, he really is channeling Eddie in a lot of ways, and his just be like, I don't give a fuck attitude, and like the way he's
Yeah, very
showboating, and like,
digestible.
yeah, he's doing great. Like, mad props to Dom, but great fucking entrance, really fucking good. And then you get Eddie Guerrero's entrance package and music,
Well,
and
what will you have Ray come out with
no,
Snoop,
no,
and then
no, no,
they
no,
enter.
no. They have, but they have fucking the whole video package and the music playing for Eddie Guerrero
Yes,
at the
but it
first part
starts
of
with
that
them in the lowrider, right?
out
And
back. But that's how,
yeah, and
yeah.
Snoop is driving him in, and then what was playing? Was it California Love or America's Most Wanted? What was it? It was something like,
California, I think it was California Love, but either way, yeah. When the package hit for like
yeah.
it
Well, yeah,
was
yeah, and
Eddie,
then you get the lie, I cheat, I steal.
and it was
Yeah,
Eddie, bro. They had, like literally they had Eddie up on the Titantron, like the whole
yeah,
thing, and which is awesome. I mean, that made me
yeah.
happy. But yeah, you had the fucking the
And then you
game
get
is
into
to be
Ray's number
sold, not
booyaka
to be
booyaka.
told. And yeah, Ray got a big old entrance. Snoop again, like Snoop was great in
All
this,
over the show. I mean, really,
all
I
over,
mean, but both nights.
and for the best too. Like honestly, usually you don't say that about a celebrity host, but he was a lot of fun. He made it entertaining, as always. And just hearing him talk shit, like we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah,
Yeah.
having him drive in fucking Ray in the lowrider, the game is to be told, not or to be sold, not to be told, was just beautiful touch. And then yeah, Eddie's music, Ray getting the big entrance, and the match itself was fucking
Well,
awesome. It was
no, hold
fun.
on. You know, we got to talk about Ray's entrance more because as he's rounding the corner, he daps up the Cinemoji Toast Crunch. This match, this grudge match between father and son, was brought to you by Cinemoji Toast Crunch, and they had a big ass Cinemoji Toast Crunch dancing, and he was friends with Rey Mysterio. Isaac, don't fucking gloss by the truth just because you don't like it and it hurts you. Okay, Ray is friends with Cinemoji Toast
Yeah.
Crunch.
But you know
Um,
what? The Cinemoji Toast Crunch, credit to General Mills or whoever makes the Cinemoji Toast Crunch. Probably General Mills. That sounds like a General Mills one. Shout out to those guys because he knows that with his liability insurance and his workman's comp that he should not get in that ring and
yeah,
get put through a table. He didn't interfere. But
no,
yeah,
he
that
just
was
danced. He hung out with the ooh eyes, toast crunches on the board. Um, but
The
anyways, yeah,
the ma
Ray and Dominic went out and had uh probably by far Dom's best match
this shit
as a
was
wrestler. Um,
really good,
it
man. They
was
told an
it was
awesome story.
yeah, it was fun seeing him overpower his dad over and over again, and then Ray fights back over and over again with his quickness.
Mhm.
But more often than not, his cunning and just his old man anger. He starts whipping Dom with a belt at one point.
Well, okay,
Um,
okay, dude. Did you see? You never go in the other chat, but there was in the chat, the
okay,
big chat. We
yeah, yeah,
so it was saying that that it made him feel really good when they saw him beating his kid, and that he likes to whip out the belt every now and then himself. And I'm like, damn, bro, this ain't something you'd be saying. But I think he was from another country that wasn't here, because I was like, damn, bro, you're praising
yeah,
about
yeah.
that shit.
You're gonna get CPS on your bub.
Yeah, I've
Um,
never once wanted to hit my kid, but all right, go
but
on. But yeah, dude, this shit was fuck, man.
Yeah,
Mm,
you had Dom, bitching at his family at ringside. Yo, there was this
the
big
cup.
ass motherfucker who was also on Raw, but he was so mad. He was in this big old white like coat deal or white shirt. He was so mad because Dom's up in his family's face and he throws water
Mhm.
on his sister, and the sister
Oh
tries to
my
hop the
god.
guardrail and
Well, she
punch him, and
was,
then
which was, that part was apparently legit. Apparently that's a shoot. Apparently he saw her with the cup in her hand and was like, "You dumbass," and grabbed it and just threw it in her face, and she got mad as fuck.
yeah, and then he gets
Uh
slapped by his mom.
yeah, which I'm
Um,
sure was probably in the plan. But I
oh, I'm
mean,
sure,
that
and
it
then
was, that was, it just told such a good story, man.
well,
Like, what a
and even down to the finish, right? The finish was literally the same thing twice. You had Dom hitting the you had Dom hitting the 619 into the frog splash. Ray kicks out. Ray fights back over the course of like a minute. He hits the 619 frog splash and wins. You also have Bad Bunny and Damian Priest getting involved somewhere in the
yep.
middle there. But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean this was just a really well worked match.
Well, Bad
You know,
Bunny was on commentary, and then what,
oh, he was on. Yeah,
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 yeah, and
he was
then
on the Spanish commentary.
Dom pulled out the chain to fucking
Yes, 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 yes.
hit
And he
him
took it
with,
away
and
from him.
he took it away from him and was like, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no," to set up for
Um,
some shit in Puerto Rico, which should be fucking awesome, by
yeah, I
the
mean
way.
this match was not the best in-ring match you've ever seen or I've ever seen. But it was a really, really good payoff to a really well booked long-term story. I
And
think
with plenty of room for the story to continue,
yeah, sure. I
which is
think
great.
that ultimately I think that Dom really should have won. And I still think that, being his being at WrestleMania, I think that Ray could get a win back down the line and maybe end the feud happy. But regardless, he just went into the Hall of Fame. The crowd was so into him winning. And
Yeah,
yeah,
probably almost the hottest the crowd was the whole night.
no, ultimately I think the story that they told and the work that they put in, um, I don't think it's a 4, unfortunately, but I'm gonna put it right below. I think it's a 3.75. Um,
Man, you put me on the spot here, because I'm right there too.
yeah.
I'm like the it felt like a WrestleMania match, right?
No, 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 it 100% did. I just ultimately I don't think
And
Dom's good enough yet. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that he hasn't gotten better and that hasn't been very clear, but
and this is not me taking anything away from that four-way, right? The showcase or whatever. But this is the
yeah.
first real WrestleMania match of the night,
Okay.
in my opinion. Like, the one that, like, I mean, it all sort of was like, "Oh, this is we're at WrestleMania, but this match had it all. It had some big spots, it had some big
Sure.
boos, it had an incredible story. And yeah, I do think it was four. I do think it was four. I
Okay.
think it was four. And Dom Dom is a big reason for that. And I think there's a lot of people that have hated on Dom, hated on the fact that he's there, have talked a lot of shit. But goddamn, dude,
Wade.
But you know what? No, like shout out to him because he did a great job. He did a great fucking job. He
Sure.
really did. I was super impressed. It was another match that I thought was going to be a snoozer because I'm like, Dom, he's going to win. It's going to, and there's room to grow in the story still, and good. Jovan, what do you got? What do you got, Jovan? Rey Mysterio over motherfuckers. I fucking swear, 3.5. I'm the only one drinking though, because Dave agrees with me at 4. But Jesus Christ, man.
Truly remarkable.
Mm,
I'm gonna
wow.
drink just because I want to.
Right? Um, you might want to take another drink. Just, get your glass a little less
No,
full.
no, no. Because
Mm,
after this is done, I'm gonna end up. I'm gonna show you some videos, and then I'm gonna end up watching UFC with my buddy, and then I'm gonna end up betting beers there. And I'm
mm.
horrible at predicting the UFC, so I'm gonna end up chugging beers. No, no,
All
I'm.
right. All right. You ask me, I'll give you the answer. You give me 2 names of people I have no idea who they are, and I'll give you
Israel
answers.
Adesanya versus Alex Pereira, the main event.
Israel always wins, man. They get like $1 billion a week from the
Well,
US.
I hate to tell you, but Israel has lost to Alex Pereira 3 separate times.
Hey man, I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, okay,
That's yeah, I know this is the know nothing section. I know
okay, gotcha,
absolutely nothing. I don't want anything.
gotcha.
I'm saying Israel wins because of the $3 billion or a week or whatever.
He was wearing a dog collar
Yep,
at the
he's a
press
winner.
conference, which was a
Absolute
little
winner.
strange.
Yeah.
Um,
Ledge. Our boy's a
all right,
ledge.
next match.
Next match is, oh my god, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match was basically like this one and the main event were about 45 seconds apart in length. This one was 23 minutes 35 seconds, and it could have gone on another 10 minutes in my opinion.
No,
um
absolutely.
this shit was incredible.
Yeah, this was a
Incredible.
slobber knocker.
Charlotte's best Mania appearance, in my opinion. Rhea Ripley, incredible. There's there's nothing wrong with this one. There was nothing wrong with this one at all.
And they did an especially good job with this match, given how weirdly booked it was. The crowd hates Charlotte. They're cheering Rhea, who is the heel. They didn't really devote a whole lot of time to it either because Rhea was so involved with, especially Dom and Ray,
Mhm.
and then, by proxy, also the, Finn and Edge stuff.
They
Um,
just, yeah, it's one of those matches that just they actually understood the fan, like where the fans were with Rhea. They're like, okay, this match is going to be big enough in itself, right? We don't need to
yeah.
promote it too much.
Yeah, no, I mean these ladies beat the crap out of each other. I mean, obviously a couple big highlights are the released Germans that Rhea hits on Charlotte. She takes both just on her face, especially I can't remember if it was the first or the second one, but the whichever one, she takes it and she just barely gets over and then just face plants. I mean, face
Yes. Oh
directly in the
my god. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
nose
Yeah.
starts bleeding from right from here.
Yeah, there's like
Um,
rash on her face. Yeah, dude, the whole thing was great. The right woman won, Rhea won. I honestly, this
Avalanche
was
Riptide.
the second real WrestleMania match of the night and a perfect match. I have nothing wrong to say about bad to say about it. They both went out there and fucking really, like, you could tell that they both wanted to make an impression, and you could tell how important it was not only for for Rhea but for Charlotte to give her that moment. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean Charlotte definitely cared about this one. She's
mhm.
she's put herself square in the kind of Randy Orton territory where you can really tell when she doesn't give a shit about something. and and
Yep.
and, and she doesn't want to do it. But yeah, I mean, they were both extremely motivated. They were just laying into each other. This was a very striking heavy
Mhm.
women's match too. I mean, a lot of
Awesome.
forearms, just a
Which is
lot of
perfect
hits.
from Rhea,
Um,
like, that's what you want. It
yeah,
was another great match, a perfect
yeah,
storytelling coming
it was
off of the
fantastic.
last WrestleMania match. Again, I have nothing wrong to say about
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
the right woman won.
I gotta give it 5 stars, man. I really, really enjoyed it. It was one of the best matches of the night, and it deserves the praise. I mean, it was easily Charlotte's best WrestleMania match. Rhea got her moment. The long-term story there with Rhea and Charlotte
Yeah,
payoff at Mania is great. Yeah, Rhea's
there
moment
were
at the Rumble.
there were a couple things to me that limited it to not being a five. I'm
Mm.
tired at this point of every time Charlotte loses a big match of her doing the "you got me, kid," like the old Triple H thing. Like, "Oh, you got me. I'm gonna sit here and clap for you." Like,
It felt super genuine this time with her just sitting there and like smiling in that moment.
which
I don't
is
know.
which
To
is
me, it
fine,
felt
but
genuine.
but she does it all the time. In also, and it's no fault to these women. I do think the fact that this match didn't headline hurt it a little bit, because I think Rhea with the fireworks going off with the title would have been a great moment, and I understand why they switched it.
I was about to say, there's
I
no,
I'm not
there's no way you can do it. There was no way you can make that happen either
I'm
night.
not arguing that it should have closed. I'm just saying that as it was, in the position it was put in, it did make her winning feel to me just a little tiny bit, less
I think
grandiose.
you put that match anywhere on the card and it was a 5. I mean, especially you put it at the main event, I mean, all day, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing is like the fact that it was that good going on right before the main event, basically, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I was so impressed. Rhea really, really shined. Charlotte always like she's one of the best female wrestlers of all time, and honestly, top 20 wrestlers of all time. Like just a truly incredible talent. And yeah, I'm all for it.
You're giving it a 5.
I'm giving
Let
it a
me fucking
5.
rate it. I like it enough to give it a really, really, really respectable 4.5.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I don't know why. To me, it never. It was a really great match, but it never got me to that like 4.75 5 like level. To just me. Like, I understand that.
No, no, no. I get it. This one. I was so tired that first night. I fell asleep and woke up halfway through it, and I was like, "Wow, this is good." So I went back and I rewatched from God. When did I even fucking start? Like
Well, you fall
the
asleep like
stress.
3 times.
Yeah, I'm so old. But anyway, yeah, and rewatching it was, I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "These fucking women put everything into it." But yeah, our boy Jovan gives it a 4. He said solid.
No, wow. And
And
Jovan, real quick, we need to talk about Jovan's ratings here, because Jovan definitely liked all of this more before Cody lost night two.
yeah,
He is so sour on everything at this point because of the finish of night two. Now,
yeah,
now, now he's going back into his AEW hut.
oh yeah, shit, you probably right. He's never watching this, so we can say anything. Yeah, Meltzer was a 4.75. So
Thanks,
we're
Meltzer. But we're continuing our trend.
um that leads us into a segment with the Miz and Snoop Dogg. And Miz is like, "Oh, I don't have a match." And Snoop's like, "Oh, I got someone to fight you." And I think people were expecting maybe someone else. I don't know whether it be like LA Knight or Bobby Lashley. Well, I guess
Big
at this
Bobber.
point, but no one really knew. But yeah, Pat McAfee came out, which was really cool. Michael Cole
That's
lost
my
his
buddy
shit.
Pat. That's my buddy Pat McAfee.
He lost his fucking mind. And at this point, this was the moment that fucking Corey Graves' brain fucking broke in half. And he could not talk for like the rest of the weekend. Like he could not get a proper sentence out at all. Jesus
I work
Christ.
90 hours a week, and this guy comes back and steals my thunder. I'm not watching this. You
Uh,
can call this match.
this was I mean, it was 3 minutes 40 seconds. They call it a match. I don't know, does it deserve a rating? I mean, it's
Yeah,
been rated
it
by
it,
Meltzer, it's been rated by
yeah,
everyone
it did
else.
deserve. I mean, again, it is a match. It is a match that
Uh,
happened. There was a bell. There was a pinfall. And I mean, like for what it was, right? It worked. The
it was
crowd
fun.
popped. Uh,
Snoop
They
was
need,
hilarious. Handle your business, man.
yeah,
Handle your
they
business.
they have to stop trying to pad out these Mania cards though to make them longer. Like
Dude, that
there was
shit went
no
till midnight,
yeah,
bro.
there was no sense in having this. There was no sense in adding the extra 15 minutes or whatever it was. All considered with entrances, with the talking, with Pat McAfee's entrance, with everything else. There was just no
I
sense in
mean,
it, especially for
I like Pat McAfee getting that
I
moment.
love
I
Pat
thought it
Mc.
was fun, and Miz got that, and Snoop had some involvement. You know what was, and it just popped in my head now that you said just wasting time, and then also going till midnight was all the videos of like these are fans celebrating in
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't
Kazakhstan.
mind that just because they're doing other stuff. I mean that's like a quick like 20-second
Yeah,
blur.
but they
This
did it
was
like over and over, and it was
it
like
was
so
it was not that
obviously
much. You
they
are
did.
you are
No,
over
they did it
exaggerating it.
quite a few times, and every time it felt like just a bunch of like WWE employees in front of a screen cheering. Like it never felt like you were actually live from one of those countries. That was just me. I was like, yo, this
The
just feels
Chinese
like
one definitely felt like you were live from China. What the hell are you talking about?
nah, bro, none of them did at all. To me, at least, I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" It all just felt like they were running to a different room in the back of the. It
They were
was like
clearly not the same group of people.
the rosebuds, man.
Anyways, Pat McAfee versus The Miz gets a
It
gets a
was
one.
fun. Yeah, it was a one. Uh, let's see what we got from my man, our man here, our fellow. Oh, he didn't even rate it. He didn't even rate it. So he gives it a dud. I'm going for a dud from him because he didn't rate it. And Mel's 1.5.
Dude, he was good.
Um, all right. So we're almost we're at the end of night one. We're coming to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the undisputed tag team championships that the Usos have held for fucking ever.
Yeah, what was it, like 600 and some days at
It's
this
a
point?
couple, yeah, almost two full years, I
Yeah.
think, just shy of. And
Start to finish, this was perfection. You had the Usos coming out with which rapper was that? Was that Lil Uzi Vert? It was like
yes,
Lil
dude,
Uzi Vert, which
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 was a little
which
strange.
was which I was like, wait, what the fuck? But then he killed it. He was awesome, and it was short. It was just like a quick, and it was like, all
Yeah,
right.
no,
I
it
was
was it
like,
was
this
just
is
a little
fine.
bit of a strange choice. And then you
It
had
was very
Kevin
strange.
Owens and Sami Zayn coming out in the old PWG, kind of throwbacks. In just the story they told of Sami
Mm,
Zayn getting beaten down and kicking out over and over again, whether it be from the 1D, finally getting Kevin Owens tagged in and he gets beat down and kicks out of the double splash. Kevin Owens hits a fucking, Sami Zayn hits a El Generico, ish brain buster on the I really wish he just would have said fuck it and done the top rope brain buster and then just dealt with it. You know what I mean? Backstage, but obviously that's a little
yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, either way, like
yeah,
this
you had both team, Jimmy and Jay kick out of stunners and pop up power bombs and
22 super kicks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 1,000 super kicks.
22.
Yeah.
22. Literally. Which normally would bother me, but they somehow
Well,
they pulled it
that's
off.
just PWG, man. Again,
Yeah.
that's super kick party. Kevin Owens and El Generico,
But yeah,
Kevin
it
Steen
was
rather.
God, it was really fun.
Yeah,
And
Cole has one of my favorite calls, maybe my favorite call all weekend. Um, as Sammy is hitting his 3 back-to-back Helluva kicks at the end. I believe Cole's mentioned something to the effect of somewhere, somewhere somehow I know El Generico was smiling,
yeah, El
and
Generico was watching on Smiling Somewhere or something like yeah,
yeah,
it was good. Very good.
just really, I mean, what a moment, what a feel good moment for everyone involved. It was just a banger of a match. WrestleMania kickouts. People pulling.
And
You know,
Sami Zayn, oh my god, how many times they hit he kicked out of the one fucking D, bro. He kicked out of the 1D.
yeah. I mean, it was WrestleMania perfection.
5
You know,
stars.
I know that we both, had huge smiles on our faces
Mhm.
as the broadcast went off, and
The fireworks were
the
hitting and
fireworks were going
goddamn.
off, and they're, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are both crying. They pan to the crowd, and random patrons on the crowd are crying. They're hugging. The fireworks are going off, and
Mhm.
Kevin Owens obviously a little bit more than Sami Zayn, but it finally felt like both of these guys, um, we're getting their due, and this is after Kevin Owens headline night one last year against Stone Cold.
Yep.
This moment felt more special
Yes.
than that
It's
did. And,
absolutely
and, and that and
100%.
that's saying a
100%.
lot. That's saying a lot about I mean, and really,
What it
Kevin
meant.
Owens is the least involved, right? It's saying a lot
Mhm.
about what the Usos and Sami Zayn built and did in the months leading up
It felt
to
so
this
good.
match.
And, they've been involved. They spent a couple of months, yeah, just involved weaving him into that story, and
Yeah.
it's easy when you have that kind of history, but, yeah, this match, all the feels, match of the night easily. Um,
And it was
yeah,
probably the best match for match's sake, match by conventional WrestleMania
this
standards
oh
match of
my
the
god, this
weekend.
is so good, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
uh, uh,
5 stars. No, I'm saying
mm,
conventional
okay,
wrestling
not
match.
just beating the fuck out of each other match. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, 5
uh,
stars.
yeah, I think it's up there. Either way, 5 stars. I this is a question before we have to drink a lot of alcohol. Before we drink, this was a question that was posed on Shooting Shit. I was fucking tired and fucked up, but I remember the question, not the person who questioned it. But which moment to you was bigger? Like WrestleMania moment was bigger. Ending, was it Kevin Owens and Sammy, or was it when Daniel Bryan finally won the belt?
Oh, yeah, you asked us, and I answered Daniel Bryan, and I maintain that.
Okay.
Simply because that was very clearly, the front office versus him. And I'm not saying that that's not the route Sami Zayn took, but just the way Daniel Bryan was presented leading up to Mania, him having to go through Triple H and then the rest of Evolution, on the same night in 2 separate matches. As far as the crowd, literally, I mean, do you remember when they took over Raw
Oh my
and
God, yes.
literally wouldn't let segments with Triple H and Stephanie happen, and they would just chant yes and Daniel Bryan the whole time, and they finally incorporated. Remember when they had them, like, all the
The
crowd storm the
takeover, yeah,
ring?
yeah.
Yeah, storm the
The
ring and shit.
Occupy,
Yeah, yep,
Occupy
Occupy
Raw,
Raw.
dude.
Um, yeah, I mean, but I also,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
I
Holy
think it's
shit,
it's it's
dude.
it's pretty
Oh,
unfair to,
Occupy
to directly
Raw.
compare the two. You know what I mean? They're both huge, gigantic, moments. And I think that you could easily make an argument for this though, as far as the Usos' historic title reign.
We can make an
What
argument for both
whatever.
of
Just to
them.
me
Yeah.
personally, it's gonna be D. Bry.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Meltzer gave it a 5. I already
Yeah,
looked.
and KO and our boy Jovan did too. So we all knew that was coming. We all knew that was coming.
I'm
Well,
gonna be honest here, bub.
we're gonna do a night 2 another time, folks.
Are we?
Oh, I don't know. I was wondering if that's what you were going to be honest about.
Oh no, I'm down to do night 2.
All
I just
right,
want to go
let's
pee,
fucking
dude.
go. Go
Yeah,
pee.
just
Go
talk for a
pee.
second.
Yeah. I actually I have something to say here. So we look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water is all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. We got to go for all we know. Just the two of us. Yes, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Uh, yeah, that's a classic by Bill Withers. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this WrestleMania weekend is that we were all so excited for night 2, weren't we? We were all looking forward to that. We were all in a position where we are like, "Fuck, this has the potential to be the greatest WrestleMania weekend of all time." Last year was an incredible show. They did a really good job last year, and this year we had high hopes. Um, and I think it was, I don't know if it was late after night 1 or it was early in the day before night 2
Well, I'll tell you when all
when
that fucking shit crumbled and when it was definitely not gonna be the greatest WrestleMania of
no
all
no
time.
well no but I'm trying to think, I think it was early in the morning on Sunday when news broke of the sale.
Yes.
CNBC broke news of the sale,
Yeah.
and I like to take credit here for being pretty Johnny on the spot about that one. I called that one as soon as I saw it. I remember shooting a message to the group being like, "Oh fuck, guys, here we go, it's
Bad
on."
news.
Yeah, and I mean, and that was like the news drop that early as Monday, which is when they ended up announcing it, that Endeavor bought WWE and combined it with UFC and was putting Vince McMahon in charge of basically fucking everything. Which, shout out to Vince for being as ruthless as he is and being as fucking a goddamn honey badger and not letting go of fucking the throat of this company. Um, I mean, if we've learned one thing about Vince McMahon and all the years of seeing him operate,
He is a belligerent old man.
is that like when it comes to being in charge and having power, he will do whatever it fucking
Yep.
takes.
Stops at
And
no cost.
and honestly, I mean, he's just gone full super villain, and he's fucking
He's got the mustache
Lieutenant
now.
Bison from fucking Street Fighter now.
Um,
But yeah, so
night 2.
that was some foreshadowing, I think, into what we were in store for. I talked about this after night 2, and I think, I think one of the biggest issues that night 2 had was the booking of the card. I think that they could have not the outcomes of the matches, just where they
Well,
put
and the
matches,
outcomes of
and
the matches to
the
a certain.
outcomes to an extent. You can get over a certain shit,
Yeah, but
but
match placement was
match placement was
strange.
horrible. They literally just put the boring ass dud matches right up front, and then just stacked everything that the crowd should be into back to back to back, leading for one of the best matches of the night to have a absolute just dead crowd, which was just an absolute shame. Um, I'm gonna
Well,
just
let's talk
I'm
about
just
these
gonna
matches.
go, yeah, I'm just gonna go really really quick through the way it was, and I want to just talk really quick about what it should have been. Right, so it started with Brock Lesnar versus Omos, then it went to the women's showcase with Rousey and Baszler, Morgan and Rodriguez, Natalia Shotzi and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Then we got Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew. Then we got Bianca versus Asuka. There was the quick Snoop Dogg Miz match. Then there was the Edge
Shane
versus
McMahon, Miz.
Demon Balor and Hell in a Cell, and then there was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. That was an atrocious card to put together in that order. I think we both agree that Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew should have started the night off. Am I wrong?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. You follow that with Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
You just get the big sweaty men hitting each other.
You get the big sweaty men hitting each other. Then you go with Bianca Belair versus Asuka with the fresh crowd.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but then you follow that women's match with the other women's match.
Then yes, you follow that with the other women's match, and then you'd have the Snoop Dogg Miz thing, right? Because you'd want to try and get the Edge versus Finn Balor on, so you can have an entrance in the dark, and then you have Roman Reigns. I don't understand why that was a hard one to figure out, but apparently there was
confusion.
Vince got involved, I think. But anyway, so Brock Lesnar versus Omos in a 4:55 5-minute match, singles match, nothing on the lines, just big meat slapping meat. Honestly, I didn't have any issues with this match other than the placement of it. I didn't. It was fine. It almost was better than I expected. Okay, he was.
This match was as far as what it could have been. It was fine, but
Shane was already okay. Shane was already
tired.
so. Yeah. Oh, he was so salty at this point.
Yeah, I was miserable. Like to begin with, to start the card.
So everything's on a scale on this one for him. Well, just bear that in mind.
Well, let me talk. Yeah, I mean, all credit where credit's due. Lesnar sold the hell out of Omos' stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He did great. But let's be honest here, man. Lesnar is not a technical master in the ring. He is not the person to guide matches to being extremely high level things. I'm not saying that he sucks. I'm not saying that,
No, he's not the guy to carry Omos, and he didn't. No. I mean, he almost did fun. The match I would have much rather seen Brock versus Gunther. Honestly, I think that was
I think everybody like relative to this particular match.
But that being said, we got like whatever Gunther does is 5 stars, so like it doesn't much matter. But this was fine. I don't remember. Do you remember what I rated it that night?
Like a 2.
I think I did. I can't remember. It was a 2 and 2.5, and I'm going to stick by that. I think it was. It was.
My main issue with this thing, and I've thought about this, is the fact that it was so short. And it worked because it was so short. I'm not saying that the match should have been longer, but ultimately it didn't feel like it needed to be on WrestleMania. In any way, shape, or form. It felt like the whole thing built up so that way Brock could have 5 him, which was very impressive. Whatever, sure. But it was not a match. Other than it was 2 huge men.
It felt like it felt like a Vince booking.
No, 100%. It felt like a Vince wet dream.
Yeah, and no, it was. I give it a 2 honestly. Because, it was hard.
Yeah, honestly, I give it a 1.
Well, Jovan and I are gonna drink together because he gives it a 2. Let's see what Meltzer says. He gave it a 3. He was still drunk from the night before. He was probably just fucking candy flipping for like 36 hours.
A 3? A 3.
A 3, dude. I don't know what match he watched.
We have seen this motherfucker rate like pretty damn good cruiserweight matches on WCW, like a 2.5, and he gave this steaming pile of shit a 3.
A 3. He liked this more than he liked Trish Stratus versus Damage Control.
I'm so pissed off. All right, get to the next. In the next match, we have the Fatal 4-Way Women's
We
Tag
have
Team
the
Showcase
WrestleMania showcase. Ronda
featuring.
Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Liv
Can I remember
Morgan.
this? Here, let's see.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
Ronda and Shayna, Chelsea Green and Sonia,
Yep.
Liv and Raquel Rodriguez
God, she's
and
insane.
Natalia and oh wait, no, I fucked those teams up. And
No,
Chelsea
no, no, no,
Green.
no, no. You're right. You're right. You just Natalia and
Is it Chelsea Green?
no, no. You already had Chelsea Green in there
Oh, who
with
who
with Sonia Deville. You're missing one person, and you have her on
who,
the right team, and it's
who
Shotzi Blackheart.
oh, it is Shotzi. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you were
Man,
right.
what
You were
a
on there.
pile of crap this is. And like I feel bad. I feel so bad for 3 out of the 4 teams in this because 3 out of the 4 teams in this really put their effort into it. You had some cool moments. Chelsea Green, I think really was the star of this match. They did a
Oh,
really good
absolutely.
job booking her.
But
Um,
everything else, I mean, it was a mess. It was a
well,
mess.
in
Botchamania, a
the
mess.
biggest fucking mess was the team that won, and somehow they made Shayna and Ronda look bad in winning because they were literally not involved in the match before winning. I guess that Ronda is hurt right now, but
Great
if
reason to give her the fucking the
that's what
shine,
I'm
right?
saying is that if she's hurt, why is she involved in the match?
No, it's embarrassing. It was a
Like,
hot mess. It was a
I
hot
mean,
mess.
and I definitely liked it more than the first match. But
I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't.
I mean,
This was
it's not much
probably
better than a 1.5.
no. I mean, I would go honestly. This was the worst of the whole weekend.
I would agree. I mean, other than the little blip matches,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but I don't really count those. But of like,
Yeah,
yeah, this was probably a 1 for me. Just nothing hit. The wrong team won. A big who gives a fuck of a match, in my opinion, and
yeah,
that's a shame because I thought out of all like the women's wrestling of the weekend, like other than this, was incredible, right?
yeah.
And this just didn't work. And yeah, a big part of it wasn't even shame. It was a big part of it was Ronda sucked.
Ronda
And yeah,
always sucks.
it just didn't work. But it is what it is. Yeah, I give it a 1. Shane,
Well, no, I gave it a 1.5.
you give it a 1.5. Sorry, I'm a fucking potted. Ronda Rousey, I got a 1 again with Jovan. And Dave Meltzer, 17-star match here. Let's see what we got. I'm so sorry. 2.5. He liked this more than Cena Austin Theory. Yo, he is one happy motherfucker, bro.
Yeah,
He's
he's off
just
the Zaza, dude.
he
That's what the
is,
kids
yeah,
say now.
dude.
You know what the
He's
Zaza
yes.
is?
Is that one of the Zaz?
No,
What?
no, no. That's weed now. The kids say, "Oh, you
Oh,
on that Zaza?"
you
Apparently,
know
that
what?
means marijuana.
I think I should Zaza up because, um,
Well,
Jesus Christ, dude.
all right. Well, you
Really?
Zaza up. I'm gonna take a drink, and then I'll start talking about the next one.
Really? 2.5 stars, huh? Yeah, the next
Um,
one is what do we got? We got
Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther.
oh, I just came all
This
over
match
myself.
this match scared me to begin with because what was it that they were Mike's harder. So
Mike's harder. Yes, dude.
they
Jesus
gimmicked
Christ.
they gimmicked up Drew and Sheamus's entrances. They had Titus out. They gimmicked up everything in
Except Gunther.
well
There
yeah
were
well no and I was
oof.
scared. And then Gunther's music hits and then
Oh
everything goes back to normal.
God, dude, that was another incredible entrance, by the way.
Um
Big fan of the silhouette of
yes.
Gunther. on the white.
But yeah, no, this match, just from the start was everything we wanted it to be. There were, I
Keep
mean,
talking. I'm
chops
grabbing
from
something.
hell. Gotcha. There were chops from hell literally the whole time. You had Sheamus hitting the almost 30 beats of the Bowrend. You had Gunther flying from the front, flying from the heavens, which I will admit, now that he's skinny, not as scary. The flying Gunther splash is not nearly as horrifying. I mean, but there's only so many things I can say about it because of what it was, which was just three guys whooping the piss out of each other. I mean, all three of their chests were bleeding by the end of it. Every man hit their finish and looked like they could have won at any point in time. I mean, it made all three of them look great. And ultimately, if Gunther is not going to go after the the main event, the actual main event now, the right guy won. I hope that given him winning this, I hope that he holds it until next WrestleMania.
He has to. He
Yeah,
has to beat the Honky Tonks record. That
yeah. I
record
mean,
has to go. And you know the old saying, "The picture is worth 1,000 words."
yeah. Oh well, yeah, no, and then they both
That
tweeted. They both tweeted
that
pints.
picture, great
Yeah,
picture of the two.
um,
Yeah.
it was just violent. It was everything. I mean, honestly, for that night, we needed it to be because I was ready to go to bed by this point already.
Oh yeah, you were so mad. You were done, dude. You were so done with this shit, and rightfully so.
Yeah, but
You
I mean,
you
it's
you had that sixth sense from the start, right? You just
yeah,
knew.
I could just, but it's. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to give my rating now, and Isaac's going to agree with me, and
Mhm.
Melcher's going to agree with us, and Jovan's going to agree with us too. This was
Hold on though. Before we drink really heavily, something happened after this match that I don't know if I've ever seen before, honestly. And if I have, I don't remember it. What about this image right here?
oh yes, yes, yes. The commentators, yep, standing
Standing
and
ovation and genuine. Like, look at Michael Cole right there. Michael Cole, you can tell when Michael Cole's bullshitting and when Michael Cole's sincere. That is a
yeah,
sincere Michael Cole. Corey Graves is the heel announcer, right? Up on his feet, cheering the match. I mean, it was just one of those moments where I was like, "Holy shit! I don't think I've ever really seen that before," and it was so deserved, man.
yeah. I mean,
Give
it's
it
it,
to
it was
him.
the definition. I mean, really, honestly, of an old school wrestling match where everything felt real. They were just whooping each other.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, absolutely, in every way, shape, or form, it was everything. And I think I said it in the middle of the match. There was only one thing that could have made that match better. You
I
know
don't
what that
remember.
is? Minoru Suzuki.
Oh well,
You know,
yeah, but that
fatal four way. Throw Minoru in that match, and it's a 10-star fucking match every single goddamn time. I'm so excited. But do you want to say it or should I? Should I throw out the number? I think we all know what the number is.
yeah, it's fives. It's a five from me. It's a five from you. It's a five from Meltzer. It's a five from Jovan. Um,
Cannonball.
something I mentioned to Wade earlier is I'll be really interested to see 10 years down the line where people put this in the all-time great Mania matches. I mean, honestly, because it doesn't feel, and I think I mentioned this live, it didn't feel like anything we had ever seen at Mania before. It wasn't the Shawn Michaels versus, Undertaker, or Triple H versus Undertaker, or whatever. It felt nothing like that. It was something completely different. And like I said, I'll be really interested to see consensus where this lands. All-time Mania matches because it definitely deserves to be up there. It made something happen that hasn't happened in a long time. In the Intercontinental title belt felt like something that people wanted. I mean, and again, it shows that you have to put these high level guys fighting for you. You have to put Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther, whoever. I mean, again, when no
if Drew Mac sticks around, even.
Yep, no disrespect to anybody else who has held that belt, you know, especially over the course of the past 10 to 15 years. But when you have a low mid card guy like Curtis Axel, you know what I mean? And that's just the first guy that came to mind, you know, holding it. It feels like a developmental belt. And they made that
Or if
belt
it just
feel like
changes hands all the
$1
time.
million.
Yep.
Um,
Cody was the one who started the restoration of that belt, honestly.
yeah.
Cody, and you know who else was a really good Intercontinental Champion and who deserves the credit is The Miz. I think The Miz
Yeah.
was a great Intercontinental Champion.
Ziggler had a couple good runs with the belt too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, this is the match, and I do think that you talk about 10 years, 15 years from now, looking back, and
Keep going.
I'm really curious to see just how this even ranks, right? If we have 10 more manias, and with Gunther at his with the kind of wrestler he is, with the kind of star he is, he should be in matches on every single one of those that he stays healthy for. I don't think he goes much longer than that. But if we get another 7 to 10 matches, WrestleMania matches out of Gunther, where does this rank on those, right? Not just for WrestleMania as a whole, but for what we've seen from Gunther, from what we've seen that he's capable of in a big match. I mean, how many 5-star matches? Like Gunther has what, 3 5-star matches this year at pay-per-view, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know if you heard me rambling, but the idea of like if Gunther has 7 to 10 more WrestleManias in him,
Yeah.
where does this rank in those matches? If we've seen fucking at a Clash at the Castle, we saw a 5-star match, bro.
Well, and also Meltzer robbed him of a 5-star match because that cocksucker gave him versus Pete Dunne on that what was it, that SummerSlam 475 for no reason.
Which is bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
No, and you think about it, you go back in WWE and even NXT UK, and you look at every goddamn Walter match you can find that is a premium live event or a pay-per-view match, and tell me
Yeah.
it's not 5 stars. Find one that isn't. Find one. You fucking tell me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again,
like honestly, like the dude, like
he's got the ultimate boss, you know, energy. He has that look, you know, I'm just gonna fight you, and you're gonna fight me.
But he's also been in a really privileged position that he's worked his ass off, and he's gotten this position where he's having matches with people who complement his style really well. And that he can go out and have these. That's why I say you say like, like my dream match. My dream match is Gunther versus Minoru. I want to see that more than anything because those two could just have one of the all-time fucking strong style classics that you've ever seen. I mean,
Yes.
anyone who knows those two, I mean, is thinking about that right now and be like, yeah, you're right. Because it's true. You'd be like, oh my God. But that's the thing is like, like if you start booking him like a fucking chump, like sure, you're gonna, but if you continue to give him opponents that make sense, guys like Brock Lesnar, like guys who can go, but who are also like fairly stiff, like I know it's like older, but a guy like Vader or a guy like JBL, like I feel like you could just bring out like just the best in like guys who are a little stiffer, bigger men, and put on these matches that like I mean, when was the last time that anyone talked about Sheamus is a in 5-star matches before Gunther came along?
Well, never.
Exactly, bro. And
Well,
Sheamus
no.
is fine. Sheamus is great. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well,
I have no issues with him.
ultimately, the Gunther feud from earlier in the year. I mean, I would. I don't think it's. I don't think it's necessarily controversial to say that it's probably the defining feud in this stretch has been the defining stretch of his career. I mean, because a lot of other things that he's done just didn't work. I mean, whether it was beating Debray in 18 seconds, whether it was the
It
the
worked for
money in
Debray.
the money in the bank win, right, from like 2016 that I saw live.
That's fair.
Um
Well, here's the thing about that too, and this goes back to, like shit just being forced, is that everyone knew that Sheamus and Triple H were best friends. And this was at the time where before Triple H was the indie darling that he is
yeah.
now, right? Like Triple H was hated, bro. Do you remember
Oh yeah.
how much everyone hated Triple H? It's like, oh,
Oh
he
yeah.
buries everyone he hates, blah 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 blah. Because in the storyline, they were what were they doing? It's best for business, Triple H.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really how it is. And good for them for selling it as well as they did. But you know what? He's proved us wrong, hasn't he? Probably the best wrestling promoter in our lifetime. When given the reins, like look what he can
Yeah.
do. Um, and hopefully, yeah, with Gunther especially, hopefully that continues because he's done an amazing job with him. He's done an absolute amazing job with him, and I bet Vince McMahon would get knocked out if he tried to fuck with Gunther in any way. I think that's like the line for Triple H is like, "Don't touch Gunther," because he's
I would
money.
love to hear that. Yeah, yeah. Your reports are Vince McMahon has been knocked unconscious.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, because goddamn, dude, how like again, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, like. Every premium live event that Gunther has had a match in that we have reviewed has been a 5-star match.
sure.
Literally.
And speaking of 5-star matches, what's up next?
Oh boy. Well, oh yeah, that's right. We go into Bianca Belair. I thought we were doing the Miz bit. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. This is the point that really drove home the booking of the show, and that they really fucked up in the way they place matches, because this was an incredible match.
Yeah, the crowd was so tired. Well, we got
They
to
were
talk about the
so
entrances.
tired.
Um,
Entrances
you know,
were fantastic. You start talking because I have already had to drink all my beer and I got to get more.
gotcha. Yeah, Asuka had a pretty. I think Asuka just had a pretty standard entrance, if I'm correct. I don't really remember. But Bianca had an entrance where she had a dance group of young African American women, girls who some dance troupe. I'm not really sure. They mentioned what it was. I can't remember. And they had a little girl on there who was a real little itty bitty. And she kind of stepped out into the main, out from the main group and danced a bunch.
Well,
And
and live, we were like, "Oh my god!" Like that's the cutest thing. Like literally, we
well,
kept
yeah,
we were texting, be like, "This is like incredible. This is the cutest thing." I think you
yeah,
said, "Is that her daughter?" And I was like, "I have
yeah.
no idea, but she's a fucking star."
And
I feel like
Bianca
that's
kind of
almost
holds her hand to the
exactly.
ring, and it was super cool. It comes out after the fact in the post match scrum that little girl, unfortunately, her mother passed away the day of, and Bianca and her dance troupe decided that she deserved to have her own little spotlight, which
Well,
is
and she wanted to
extremely
perform.
amazing.
She was like, "I want to do this." She was like, "I really want to do this." And
Yeah,
so they were like, "Okay, we'll give you your moment." And like, god damn, dude, like you could just tell it was like there was something while we watched it, because normally, like, like whatever, it's cool, like shit like that is fine. But like, I think everyone sort of had this feeling that this was an important moment, and you couldn't exactly tell why, but you could tell it was important,
yeah.
right? Because we were like, man, is that our kid? Like, what's going on? It's like, and and it was so fucking cool. What a great entrance. And all those kids, it was like this, it's such a, just like the Make-A-Wish kids, like, you know, that these kids have had a hard life. Like, it's not, having lived near there, it's not an easy place to live, right? Or not
Yeah.
Compton, but like having lived near, like, you know, Harlem, having lived near fucking, you know, like Queensbridge, like, it's not an easy place to grow up, man. Like, I grew up fucking, you know, in a backwater nowhere, but like, in a lot of ways it was a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um,
And you know, you just know that this is like an opportunity that, again, that's going to define like what they can do, and can be like, is that you could do whatever the fuck you want. You've performed in front of 80,000 people. What's next? Right? Like, what do you want to
yeah.
do next? And yeah, it was awesome. And you know, seeing Triple H choke up, like, it's, you know, I can't imagine, you know, like, my son's a year or so older. I can't imagine, you know, leaving them behind like that at that age. And you know, the impact that might have on their life. Well, I can't imagine it, because I have imagined it, because I'm fucking a crazy, depressed, suicidal motherfucker. But it's one of those things that's like, yeah, like, that's an amazing reason to stay around. And but yeah, like, just that moment was really, really special. And shout out to Bianca Belair, shout out to Triple H, shout out to WWE for allowing her that moment on what is absolutely the worst day of her life, and giving her something, you know, to keep her going through it. Because, you know, like, as I'm sure you well know, that you know, like, each day gets us microscopically easier in a way. But you know, it's like, it's a lot, and to have something that important and have that big to distract you
Oh yeah.
is,
100% distract you.
like, and I don't mean to, like, sound crude or anything, but like, it's true. Like, sometimes, like, during that kind of shit, like, the last thing you want to do is think about it. And to have
Yeah. No. I mean,
something,
no. I mean, I don't think that's crude. I think that's honest.
yeah. And
Um,
hats off for giving her that, because it
yeah.
was
I
it
mean,
was
it's an
a
extremely
beautiful.
special moment.
And I don't want
Um,
to cry. I don't want to cry or anything. So let's
yeah.
talk
The
about
yeah. I mean, the match itself was very very good. I don't think it was as good as Rhea and Charlotte from night one.
no.
But both ladies, I mean, once again, worked their ass off. This was another, I mean, really hard hitting match. Asuka was laying in her combinations, was laying in, a lot of her strikes. You had Bianca doing her normal ultra athletic,
Hmm.
hair swinging, flipping, deal. A lot of catch wrestling from Asuka, and trying to get Bianca into various submissions. A lot of
See.
Asuka powering out and dominating dominating Asuka in any way she could. Um, Towards the end of the match, you had Asuka missing the mist,
Hmm.
and Bianca hitting the KOD. There was something about this match that just didn't full on click for me. I couldn't tell
Same
you
with
what it
it.
was, but there was just something about it that I just don't think worked necessarily the way they wanted it to. But still, it was a great match, and unfortunately, no disrespect, Bianca. I think the wrong lady won. This really felt like Asuka's moment to
Hmm.
take the belt off of Bianca, allow Bianca to go do something else after being a great champion for a literal year.
Hmm.
Um, and Asuka to run roughshod over the women's division and just kill everybody.
With
They
her
didn't give
with
that
her
to us.
badass spinning,
Yeah,
new
Bianca wins.
image.
But I don't know. I mean, it was a great effort from both ladies, and I liked enough to give it a 4.
So I'm going to agree with you going backwards, right? I do think the wrong person won. You know me, I love Asuka. I think Asuka's the best, just the best women's wrestler in the world. Like, I don't think there's anyone I think Charlotte's up there, but I don't think there's anyone who's truly at that level that Asuka's at. I don't know anyone else, any other female wrestler who's gotten the ass whooping from Suzuki that she's gotten. But I mean, that aside, like, Asuka's incredible. Bianca's an incredibly athletic, an incredible wrestler, great performer. Their styles kind of complement each other well. And I do like you said, I don't remember which match it was. Which match did you say was like the best technical match of the weekend? Was that the
No, 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 no.
like
I
in
said,
ring?
well,
Oh no,
yeah.
which one did you say was the best in ring match? Was that
I mean,
the
best
Rhea?
totally in ring match was probably Charlotte versus
Yeah,
Rhea.
and
I was talking about how
no,
Stanley
no,
versus yeah.
I'm just saying that this one for me was tied, I think, for best in ring because it really was like it felt like I was watching a different style of wrestling match from the other. And that might have been part of why the crowd didn't get it. I know the crowd was just exhausted and it hurt. It hurt
Yeah.
the match a lot, which is unfortunate. But this match from both of them was a banger. I think the outcome hurt it a little bit, and yeah, four and a quarter. I really liked this one a lot. Had Oscar won it, I think it would have been a 4.75 for me because she really deserved it, and I was bummed out. No, and no disrespect again. I think fucking. Uh, I think that like a year as champion is fucking awesome, and I think is like really like a solid showing. But it's fucking Asuka's time. It's been Asuka's time since the day she got beat by Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got for Jovan? Jovan says, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh wow. Sorry. We got we clusterfucked for no reason because he gave it a 5.25 on Gunther. Oh well, fuck it. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Jesus, dude, Jovan, if you're watching, man, just stop. Just stop and think. This isn't a 3.25. This isn't a 3.25. He gave it a
He's so grumpy.
He's so grumpy. This match was so much better than that. So Dave Meltzer said that this one was a 3.75, which is closer. So cheers to that. All right. Oh, we're getting there, bud. We're getting there. We're getting close now. So now we have to talk about it. The Miz and Snoop Dogg come out. The Miz calls out Snoop Dogg for making him fight the night before against McAfee in his fancy suit. And Snoop Dogg was like, "You think that's bad, bitch? I got something else for you." And I guess we have to incorporate the fact that earlier in the night, Big Bob came out with a trophy and then went away.
And then just
It didn't do an open challenge, nothing. Just came out with his stupid fucking trophy and then disappeared. Robbing him and LA Knight at both of a WrestleMania moment. So I think naturally everybody thought that it was going to be either Bobby Lashley or LA Knight coming out at this
yes.
point. Because why the fuck wouldn't you at least have one of the guys, especially LA Knight, who's been like, wait for that LA Knight moment at WrestleMania, everybody, in LA at night, and nothing happens. And here comes the money. And
Here we go.
I think I was like, Jesus Christ. We were all like, Jesus Christ. And I think there was a big pop just because,
Oh, the people love Shane O'Mac live,
yeah,
right?
Shane O'Mac live, like it's a great pop, like like that's a great song. But I think ultimately, like, what the fuck were they thinking? And this is one of those things where sometimes like karma is such a fucking wild thing, right? Where you're like, this shouldn't be happening. Everyone knows this shouldn't be happening. Even fucking Mother Gaia knows this shouldn't be happening, and that bitch is gonna snap a motherfucker's hamstring. And so yeah, Shane McMahon
It
comes
wasn't
out.
it was quad. It was his
Yeah, the
quad.
quad, whatever. Either way, same fucking thing. It's his leg got fucking broken. But he did a leapfrog over fucking the
The
Miz,
Miz.
and then crumpled to the floor, couldn't stand up. Ref throws the X, and somehow from what I've heard, and I've heard different things, but I haven't heard much that contradicts the fact that ultimately what was planned was for Shane to get knocked out somehow. And now with that giant ramp, I like to think he was going to get thrown off it. But either way, uh, yeah, he crumples. So Snoop Dogg comes in and goes, "Hey, you all right? Nah, man, you knocked my man's out." And then fucking just punches Miz, punches him again, and then
There's a
gives him the
people's
people's
elbow.
elbow and pins him. And you know what?
Credit
Props to
where it's due.
props to Snoop Dogg. It was an ugly run. The elbow itself looked fine. The punches looked great. Um, Props to him for in that moment. And like, like the guy is a performer, right? Like that's what he does. Like everyone's always this, he's that. He's a performer. He's always been a performer since he was a teenager. He's been a fucking performer. So the guy understands show business, I think, better than most people. So as soon as they're like, "Hey, man, we're calling an audible," he was there, and he's not an idiot, and he did it, and he saved what could have been just the most, which was awkward already, but could have been way worse, right?
Oh yeah, no. I
Um,
mean, if the X just gets thrown up and that's how it ends, I mean that's
yeah,
disaster
yeah,
territory.
yeah, exactly. And so credit to him. They
Yeah,
considered it a match.
yes,
And I have to give him some credit for
I have to
this.
give him a 0.25 because that's what Snoop deserves.
Yeah. Fuck, bro. I'm right, because here I am. It's got to be a 0.420,
Oh,
bro.
wow, you
Bro.
broke your scale again.
Broke. Well, no point. I didn't break it. It's still within 1 to 5. It's just not
Mhm,
below or above. It's just a 4.220, baby. I was like, man, can I give them a 4.2? That would be just awful because they don't deserve it. But no, like credit where credit's due. Like it was a shit. It was shit. It was an absolute disgrace, and Snoop saved it. That's all I really have to say about that. I don't think Jovan rated that one. Jovan did not rate that one. He gives it a dud. From Meltzer. Meltzer did rate it. He is on the happy sauce, bro. What
Zaza,
guess what he rated it?
1.5.
You gave him too much credit. He gave it a 1.
Oh,
But still. All right. That brings us to Hell in a Cell with Edge and Finn Balor. This match was pretty fucking good. Entrances were awesome, although it would have been better had it been fully dark.
on and
Um,
on south of heaven, on and on south of heaven.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Edge came out to south of heaven. It was fucking sweet. The demon's entrance was a little strange. You know, they
In the
just gave him
light,
some little smokies in the light.
it was too bright. It was too bright. It didn't work. That's the West Coast effect. Had that been
Yeah.
inside, had it been in an arena, had it been inside, had it been on the East Coast, it would have been fucking legit. And yeah, it just looked kind of goofy.
Yeah. I mean, this match was really good. There were just a couple things that really hurt it. One was the the ill advised ladder to the head that Finn forgot to block. Busting him open, causing a real weird stop in the match for about 5 minutes. Where Edge is just kind of wandering around, setting things up, going. Um,
Yeah.
and this has been an issue for me for a lot of Hell in a Cell matches recently. I just don't think this match needed to be in Hell in a Cell. I don't. I don't think they did enough with the cell other than the ultra scary Coupe D through the table that missed and looked like Finn was going to break his leg. Um, I just don't think it needed to be in the cell. Honestly, I think that they could have accomplished the same things that they accomplished here in a TLC match. And honestly, other than the demon, right, and kind of the way they
which was
presented
cool.
themselves,
It was cool seeing the demon back. I
no,
miss that.
I agree.
And did you
I
see the
think
pictures
storyline
of his
wise,
head?
though, I think storyline wise, though, I think TLC match would have worked better though, because Finn could have just went, look, I'm gonna beat you at your own match. You created this fucker, so I'm
That would
gonna
have
take
been
you out in it.
that would have been awesome. I do. Did you see the pictures of his head before it
Yo,
was
yeah, yeah,
stapled?
huge gash, huge gash.
Dude, I've seen, yeah, it's like a vagine after birth. Um
Oh Jesus.
it was brutal. It really was. It was fucking brutal. But yeah, yeah, this match I I wanted a little bit more from it. I think the ref stoppage hurt it, but at the same time, once you see that gash, you can kind of understand why they were like, maybe we should stop this.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's it
it's
just
hard.
sucks
It's
because it's Hell in a Cell, right? Hell in a Cell, you expect to see violence and them, especially after seeing Foley almost die. You know what I mean? It kind of makes Finn look like a pussy. You
well,
know what I
it's
mean?
it's hard because like this is also right after news that they're about to be part of
I
Endeavor,
understand.
and you like it's one of those situations where like
Well, I don't want to
you
get. I
kn-
don't.
you no, you know that like coming from the back they wanted to cancel it. Finn was fighting it and they had a great match out of it. But
Yeah, sure, but that doesn't even make sense being morphed at the UFC, dude. I see more blood in the UFC. I'm gonna see more blood in the UFC tonight than what I'm gonna what than what was gonna be in that match, even if they didn't stop the
but
cut.
it's a yeah, but it's a different. I mean, they have they like they forever. There's going to be the shadow of Chris Benoit over professional wrestling, and that means head trauma is always going to be, and more so than ever now with CTE, all that shit. All we know
Yes,
for a publicly traded company is always going to be an extremely important optics thing, if anything else.
sure.
It's
All right,
just the
let's get
way it
to
is.
ratings. Let's get to ratings.
But
We're
but
almost at
this
two
match was
hours.
good. This is yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. This is a 4. This is good. I had fun.
3-5.
Okay. Okay. We got a 3-5. We got a 4. We got a what do we got here from Jovan? 3-2-5. 3-2-5. 3-5. 3-7-5. 4.
Meltzer give it a 3.75. God,
All right.
all
One
right.
more.
I'm gonna lay this down. I'm gonna lay this down because I don't have any preconceived notions. It was Cody versus Roman. The match started off very slow as do most Roman matches. And honestly, these guys to me throughout the course of the match kind of just felt like they were playing the hits. You had Cody with multiple Cody cutters. Roman counters one, kicks out of another. You have Cody, doing his best, fight through adversity. Cody is a baby face deal. He backdrops Roman through the table at one point. The Usos interfere. Kevin and Sammy join in. Solo gets the you're out of here.
Yep. Can I rewind for 1 second to
Yes.
probably one of the 3 most touching moments of WrestleMania, besides the 2 entrances with Bianca and John Cena, was Cody giving the weight
Oh,
belt
yes, the
to
belt to
Brody.
-1. Yes.
Um, Not something I expected to see at all. And further, goddamn playing with our goddamn hearts. Motherfuckers, man. But really like a great moment, and especially for little Brody, like good for him.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I'm
I mean,
so
and especially a special moment from the WWE to acknowledge that and
Mhm.
to give, especially to give Brody, Brody Lee Jr. a name. You know what I mean? It's not just to a fan at ringside. It wasn't
No,
to
and not to just
whatever.
say
It
his
was
name, but to say his dad's name and to say
yeah,
his former Luke Harper,
yeah,
like, and to a guy who, to, I mean, you can't not associate negative one. You can't not associate Brody with AEW in some way, shape, or form.
no. I mean, it's
You
it's, it's
know,
impossible. I mean, because he
like
was getting
he
ready to get pushed to
ultimately
the
is
damn
like, in a
company.
way, is the beating heart, of that company. Like he's sort of like a, like whether or not he's there, like I think like his dad was important in a lot of
Yeah,
ways, and I think,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I
I
mean,
think
and
that's it.
negative one popping up on their shows is
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those presents from
Hmm.
a gone friend. You know what I mean?
Hmm. No,
Um,
so I think, I think it's important to take a moment and be like, yeah,
sure. No, no, I totally
shout out to
agree. But
them.
yeah, I mean, the match starts
Also,
slow, ramped.
this is Shane getting carried out,
Yeah,
by
and
the way.
people, I guess, are trying to take pictures with him, and he was not happy with it.
I wouldn't be
Um,
either.
But no, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fuck
no, I mean, the
that.
match started slow, ramped up, ramped up. You had the normal bloodline, interference deal. You had kick out after kick out. Typical main event of WrestleMania stuff. Cody, it looks like he's about to win. Solo comes out from the crowd, spikes him. Roman hits him with one last spear, pins him. Somebody chucks a fucking squeaky chicken into the ring.
Which is
Um,
perfect.
and the crowd goes deathly ill.
They
It
booed the
was it was
shit out of this.
yeah, it was very, very close to Brock snapping the streak as far as just the crowd just not
They were
even
boo
really
no, they were
booing, right? It was
booing.
just
Yeah.
it was just being deflated. It was being so sad. Um
Yeah, it was not.
and yeah, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of this match at the time. I haven't rewatched it, so I can't say whether or not that's changed. It was a really, really old school,
I loved it.
fight from behind match.
Loved it.
I again, we're almost at 2 hours, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give my rating, let you talk. I liked it enough to give it a 4. It was good, but it was definitely not a classic to me personally by any means.
No, no doubt. I don't think you're wrong there. I mean, for me, it's the kind of shit that I like, right? It's the kind of so this is the kind of shit you like. It's the kind of shit you're gonna like, right? I think that the finish is questionable at best, but Cody put on a hell of a match. Roman, he always puts on really good, like, big event matches. He's got his style. He works a Roman Reigns match, but that's WWE, right? Like when it comes down to it, like going back to WWF, the first WWF with Hogan, WWF, right?
They're main event guys, especially guys that are dominant. They wrestle a very specific style.
So
And
they
that
got
that
you got and you got and honestly, with this Roman Reigns story, you have to protect him that way.
yeah,
And if this isn't the end, and here's the thing: is that we all thought Cody was winning. Everyone thought Cody was winning. I don't think that going into it would have hurt the outcome if everyone knew the outcome. I think it would have been a great moment. I think the thing that's the most surprising about this to me is that they're not truly giving Roman a time off. I
no,
think that they've
he's
all
gonna keep holding
deserved
the
it.
belt.
I think they've all
But
deserved it. So, but at the same time, like,
Roman doesn't appear every week. Roman doesn't wrestle every pay-per-view. So, I mean, it's possible that he's okay with just keeping this schedule going. I mean, because he will disappear for a month sometimes.
yep,
You know what I mean? And so if they just give him a month off in between, bigger programs. I mean,
yep. So, I don't know.
all right.
Four,
Meltzer ratings?
four.
4?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wow,
go
we agree.
4. And let me see, what do we got here from Jovan? Jovan says this is a 4.25, and Dave Meltzer says this is a 4.5.
Wow.
So
We drink together.
we drink together like old friends,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit!
we've been 2 hours of such good shoot.
We
I'm
have. This
Shane.
is an old junkyard episode. I'm
Yeah,
Isaac.
no. That's
I'm,
Isaac.
I'm Isaac. I love you guys. Shane loves you guys. And
We'll
give
see you
your
back at
give
some point soon.
yeah give your loved ones a hug from you, because